like a little place to put this up on. Can you, no, you can't see that. Oh, you should be planning ahead, people. Learn from my mistakes. There we go. I'm sitting in the office chair and I feel like this is some important meeting. Don't be scared, guys. I'm trying to be relaxed. I'm actually so relaxed. I'm in pretty loungy clothing today, and I actually have food stains on my shirt because I ate in my bed while reading, but then I was trying not to get food on my book, so I ended up getting food on myself. So I wanted to sit down quickly and do a review of Graduates in Wonderland. I just finished this book maybe about an hour or two ago, and I thought, you know what? All the thoughts are fresh in my mind. I want to sit down and just film a book review about it. I gave this book a 3.75 to 4-ish stars. I thought it was really good. So if you guys have watched some of my other videos, I mentioned how I'm doing a list by Popsugar. That is a book to read every year of your 20s. And this book was for year 22. So the book starts off, these two girls are 22 in the beginning of the book. And basically you just follow their story as they live abroad. They are both American. One girl goes off to Beijing, China, and the other girl goes off to New York. And basically this book, the way it's set up is you are following their email correspondence over, you know, the next couple of years. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hot. I tried to wear a sweater to hide my food marks, the food stains. I'm not perfect, guys. I can't. So what I really liked about this book was the fact that it was about two 22-year-old girls who were just figuring life out. And then the other thing I really liked was the way the book was set up. I liked the email correspondence. These two girls were so funny. Honestly, they made me laugh out loud multiple times. One of the quirky things about these two best friends is at the end of each email, or almost every email, they would finish it off with some kind of quirky thing that went along with their email. So here for this one, you know, they ended off with "more soon, Scarface." If you read that previous email, you would understand what she's joking about with Scarface. So very entertaining. And honestly, as you follow their story, it's actually quite amazing where they've been and what they've done. To me personally, what really stood out about these two best friends was the courage they had. The first girl started off in New York, so it's not technically abroad, but she moved to a big city, and then the other girl moved to Beijing. And honestly, it really is incredible to kind of have that much, I'm really slouching. Oh, it's really incredible to have that much kind of courage and spontaneity. I was kind of living vicariously through them. But then their stories continue and the different places they live and, you know, getting accepted into different programs, getting different jobs. It's really fun to follow their stories. I would highly recommend this book. Any age can read this, but I would recommend it for someone who's in their 20s and even more specifically early 20s. It's about, you know, figuring out who you are, what you want to do. It's a story of discovery and it's really entertaining. I would give a warning for this book that because they kind of are young 22-year-old girls, obviously they go through, you know, quite a few relationships and they have a lot of funny stories about that. But if you're more uncomfortable with kind of the party life, I guess you could say, then I wouldn't suggest reading this book. I don't think you would enjoy it because, to be honest, a lot of the book is not descriptive in that sense, but there is definitely, like, that's a large part of what their lives were like. They were single girls entering into this whole new scene. And so you connect with people, you go to parties, you go to bars, you meet new people, all of that. So it's fun to read, but if that's not something that you really want to read about, then I wouldn't suggest reading this book. But I mean, if you want a fun read, you want to be inspired to travel or to even just have adventure. Like, I know for a fact I do not have money to travel right now, but it really did encourage that need to travel in me. I thought it was a great book. It doesn't make you jealous of their lives because they still talk about the horrible experiences and the lonely moments and all that. They still make it very real, which I appreciated, because having lived abroad for 10 years, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener for a little while, but then life sets in and you have to carry on with life. One of the ways I would suggest reading this book is actually to read it as a side book. I basically kind of had just this one book on the go while I was reading it, and I thought, because it's correspondence and, you know, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's months in between emails, and so much occurs, that I would have preferred to have this book on the side while reading another book. If you're wanting to just read a couple pages in a moment or something, then this book is awesome for that, because the emails really aren't that long. Some emails maybe are 2 to 3 pages, but that's the max. Because they are, you know, replying to each other's messages and updating each other, it is really easy to just fall back right into this book. So I definitely would suggest reading this book kind of slower. There's no problem with reading it in one go. That's what I did, and it still was very entertaining. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed this book, and I actually really enjoyed putting my thoughts together and talking about this book. I highly suggest you read it if you want to. So thanks guys for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. Click subscribe if you want to, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!